Welcome back to another edition of the Pagcast. I'm your host, Michael Pagani, joined alongside Kingston Frontenacs defenseman Tommy Budnick. Tommy, welcome to the Pagcast. Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How have you been doing recently? Let's get into that. We spoke a little bit. You guys are coming off a 3-3, absolute bagger at Pracky today. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Give me all the emotions once again.
The body's hurting. The body is hurting this late into the season. Shoulders are banged up, legs are banged up, soaking pills, and it is a grind, but it's doing well. I'm loving the team. I'm loving the atmosphere of Kingston. So nothing could be better. It's been great.
Let's talk about the most recent game up against the Guelph Storm. Unfortunately, you guys, didn't get the win there, losing 6-2. Reflecting back, playing in that 3-3 situation, it must get very exhausting. Like, do you think the team just ran out of gas?
I don't think we ran out of gas. I think I think it kind of comes down to I think it's more mental fatigue. I don't think our bodies ran out of gas. I think coming after that, 4 games in a week. I think by Sunday we were all pretty just mentally out of it and real tired and having to go from Niagara up to Guelph and then playing in their rink. They packed that barn pretty well, so it was a tough road game to go into. And I think our start was pretty good. I think we played pretty hard, but I think we didn't last as long as we needed to, and our conditioning kind of ran out after the first 30 minutes there.
Your next game is up against the Oshawa Generals. The last time you played them, it resulted in a 3-2 win for you guys back on January 20th. Will there be much of a different game plan this time around, or are you guys just going to kind of use the same tactics?
No, we got the same strategy. I don't think nothing. No, it doesn't really depend on who we play as a team. I think we've kind of established ourselves as it doesn't really matter who we play. We're gonna stand strong and stand tall till 4 zeros go on the clock. And I think that's what is going to separate our team when we start to gel and mature as a young. We're real young, so when we start to mature and gel together and have chemistry and young guys start to become more skilled. I'm in my 3rd year, but I'm only in my 2nd year playing. When the 2nd year guys all the 04s, 05s are able to step in and start growing as people too. I think we're really going to come together because, like I said, it doesn't really matter who we play. We just try to work hard, stick to what we can control and just build our game off of fundamentals and just hard work and compete.
Getting into a bit of who you are and your story, who influenced you to get into hockey?
I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know when I started skating before I could even talk because I didn't actually learn how to talk properly. Like I could talk. No, I couldn't even talk. I was skating by 2 and I couldn't talk until I was 4. And I still couldn't talk after that because I
fucking love that, man. That is awesome.
I know I had a lisp because I wasn't even able to talk until like 5th grade because I had a lisp and I couldn't say my R's properly. So talk has been a long road to success for me. And I'm still not there, but I started playing when I was skating when I was 2, just on outdoor rinks and outdoor ponds. I think that kind of just came from my sisters got into figure skating, so they would go out on the outdoor rink. We had an outdoor rink in our backyard, and then we had this huge skating outdoor rink down the town from us. It's called the Winter Sports Park. They had sledding, skiing, snowboarding, and this just huge rink, like the size of a football field. And my sisters were figure skaters, and my dad and my uncle and my grandpa loved hockey. My grandpa loves hockey. So my dad kind of put me on skates, and I would just kind of sit there with the chair and just wheel around with the chair and kind of just bury through people and just run into people and not really control myself. But yeah, I think it was my dad really put me into hockey at first.
He's obviously having the classic double Tim Hortons, tying up your skates, just all of that.
Yeah, well, I don't know actually. Yeah, the first pair of skates I had were terrible. They were I swear to God, these things look like they were from the 1960s. They were straight leather. They had no ankle support. They had figure skating blades on them with no toe pick. And they
Jeez.
look like something Gordie Howe skated on in pictures that I've seen. Like they're old, but they got me going, and now they're sitting in my room decoration. But these things are old.
Well, speaking of, I guess, players that you mentioned, Gordie Howe, but I'm talking about, was there a player growing up who you wanted to model your game after?
Yeah, I have a couple, but my main three are Nicholas Lindstrom, Jordan Tutu, and then I like Bob Probert too.
Awesome,
But
because I actually kind of, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead if you want to expand
because
on it.
but my favorite of all time is Nicholas Lindstrom. Without
Oh,
a doubt,
yeah.
I still watch some of his highlights before I go to bed some nights and be like, you know what, hell, I'm gonna try this tomorrow and see if I can't bat down a puck getting sent in from the red line. That'd be sick.
Yeah, well, that kind of leads it to my next question because you're born in Michigan, so you must be a
Yeah,
huge Red Wings fan.
yeah, no, well, yeah, I think Red Wings are my favorite. You know, the era of like Pavel Datsyuk, Nicholas Lindstrom, the older Wings.
Yeah, Zetterberg.
The early days of Nicholas Kronwall, Zetterberg, like you said, that team's my favorite team of all time. And that Red Wings, I love those Red Wings.
Do you have any memories of the Joe Louis? Like, did you ever go down
Yeah,
to it? Yeah.
yeah. So, well, I think I don't know. I was so young. I don't know, but I remember when we went to Joe Louis, they have like this restaurant, and they were playing Columbus, and they had this like restaurant down beneath, like where the players all went to after the game, and it's right by the rink, and like they're in Joe Louis, the locker room was right out there, and they had a bunch of memorabilia, and like we saw Kid Rock, and we saw a bunch of like Detroit guys, but mostly Kid Rock, and then I remember we were able to go into the penalty box and like watch the Wings and warm ups from the penalty box. And I got a picture with Rick Nash, or
That's
yeah,
sick.
yeah, with Nash on Columbus when he played there,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
or maybe it was Steve Nash. I don't know. I don't know whoever the Nash guy is. I don't know. But he played on Columbus there, and I remember that. And then I remember seeing like octopus being thrown on the ice when I was little. And then I also remember always like walking up those that big flight of stairs going into the Joe Louis Arena, and then another memory that I'm like when growing up, like Detroit teams are based off of like just Detroit companies or whatever.
Mhm.
So we have like Bell Tire, Victory Honda, CompuWare, Little Caesars, and Honey Baked. And when I first got into travel hockey downstate, I started playing for this team called Bell Tire, and like Red Wings were like sponsored by Bell Tire, so we would go to a bunch of Red Wings games as a team. And I remember just sitting there and watching these guys with a couple of my real good buddies that I just met, and it was awesome because I've never seen something like that growing
That's
up
so
in this
cool.
small
That is
town. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, let's get into your career here. So actually, my first question is, how can you decide to come to the OHL and not continue with the States?
Uh, it's well, like it's a long story, but so when like I said, I played Bell Tire at first.
Mhm.
That was fourth grade year, and so fast forward a little bit, fifth grade year comes around, and this team, like Honey Baked, asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, absolutely. But you know, in the spring when they asked me to play, my mom was drive down like 4 hours because I lived in a town called Petoskey. That's like 4 hours from anything, and so I used to play outside on ponds and up in Mackinac and whatever, but. So I would drive 4 hours with my mom down to practice, and I'll drive 4 hours back 3 times a week. And my coach said that's like not going to suit it. Like your kid's not going to have any energy. So we ended up buying a house down there. And then so I played Honey Baked for 3 4 years, and we were a wagon. Like we were, some of the guys are first round picks now, and there's some of my real best friends who are from that team still. Um, and then I play 3 years there. Our coach leaves. Mike Hamilton leaves to go to Muskegon Lumberjacks. I go to CompuWare. And then the following year, 15-0 year, I go back to Honey Baked. We're a wagon again. And then I was gonna go, like what originally was gonna happen, I was gonna go out to prep school out in Boston.
Mhm.
And then from Boston, I was talking to a couple east like schools out east. Um, um, I don't know, like one of them, like Cornell. I was talking to Cornell. I was talking to the Harvard coach. the UMass. I skate with the UMass skills coach. I was talking to UMass a little bit, and then so I was talking to those teams. But then, like when I got drafted, I was actually on the phone with Windsor, and they were telling me they're going to take me the next pick. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you know what, guys? Like, I don't think you're going to be able to take me. They're like, why? And I'm like, well, did you look at the screen? And my name popped up 59th to Kingston. And then to go to the OHL, I did like I would do a bunch of like combines up in Canada.
Yeah.
So the coach, so we had this team. We were a part of the Oshawa Generals, and it was put together by Tulio, and that like Rocco Tulio, and so the coaching staff was Luca Caputi, DJ Smith, Kevin Thacker, and Phil, and then that was it, and that was our coaching staff there. So when I played there, I guess DJ Smith, Luca, and then another guy, Paul McFarland, are all real tight. So when I got drafted, Luca picked me up, drafted me, and then when I got drafted, I guess kind of what just signed here is kind of just talking to them and saying, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that like when you go play college hockey, you don't guarantee your scholarship. Like when you sign your NLI, if you get hurt in the summer or if you get hurt playing and your future's on can't see your future, like they can take away your NLI and you got to go right back to playing college.
I actually didn't know that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, because like I'm from Canada, I've only kind of focused on Canadian sports and like the ins and outs of that. I've never really focused on the NCAA, the NIL, and that type of shit.
That's a whole different ball game. The NCAA and NLI. Like if I started a YouTube channel and I started making an income.
Yeah,
and I was describing myself as like an athlete and paying for my and like making money off of like marketing myself as an athlete. They could take away my scholarship, which is crazy. Like that side of it is like unknown. And so yeah, but like when you sign to the OHL, as soon as you step on the ice, all 4 years for your camp, you get all your money there, and you as soon like 1 year.
So that kind of enticed you to continue with the OHL, then, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
so I have,
okay.
So now I have 3 years of my school package guaranteed if I need to take it. Well, as in like college, if I pulled my groin really bad and I don't know, I broke my ankle and me
your
playing hockey
future's
is
just
out of
not
the picture.
guaranteed.
Yeah, and I'm not I'm not contributing to the university in any aspect, or I'm not holding up my
I know what you mean by
bargain.
that.
They'll yank that right out from under you the rug, and it's just crazy.
I never knew that. That's actually really interesting.
I tell that to a lot of Canadians up here. Like when I say, they're like, "Well, why didn't you go play college?" I'm like, and I tell that to them, and they're like, "Oh my god, I never knew that." And I was like, "Yeah, it's dangerous."
They don't want to sweep that under the rug, dude. They don't want anyone to know.
No, they don't want that. That's probably why USA Hockey is. If USA Hockey sees this, I'm getting kicked right out. There is no World Juniors for me to ever. They're gonna be so mad. They're gonna be like, this kid's taking us down.
Yeah, exactly. You're just this one small guy taking down an entire empire.
Yeah. I might have. I don't know. I might see some USA Hockey people waiting up the locker room for me here coming up. I don't know.
Well, let's rewind a bit to the Honey Baked situation.
Yeah.
You obviously described them as a wagon. How did they help with your development?
It was. I've seen some minor hockey league teams now and how they work. This team was pro. Like I look back at what we were doing on Honey Baked and what we're doing now on Kingston. Same system, same stuff, same schedule. Like we were, like it was it's weird to say that, and I know there might be some backlash because we're young kids being treated like pros. But our coach is. If it wasn't for our coaching staff, I would not be the player and person that I am today. Like they held us to a standard of young men at like 13, 14 years old. Like we were at the rink as soon as we got done with school. Our asses were in the rink at like 4:30. We would have film, we would have pre-ice, we would have skate, we would have team practice, and we would have a workout. And it's like 5 hours we're at the rink, and we're getting home at 10:30. And he would do like diet checks and make sure we're eating well, which was not good with me because I came to that team. I was a fat kid, and he whipped my ass right into shape in the first 2 years. He put me like I thought I was ready to quit hockey. He was so hard on me, but if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be as mentally tough and as tough as I am today because he put me through the ringer, man. And then we had another coach, Kevin Thacker, or no,
Yeah.
Kevin Hatcher, not Thacker. That was Kevin Hatcher, and he played for Washington and a couple other teams, and he's in the American Hockey Hall of Fame. And the stuff he had us doing as like 14-year-old kids, the system we had, and we were running like a pro team. It was ridiculous, and we had kids from all over. Like we had kids from like California, Arizona, Alaska, me way north, Nebraska, Ohio. Like we were it was a pro team.
No, you mentioned that you were coached by DJ Smith there in Oshawa, or there was some
Yeah,
relation there, right? So
yeah,
now he's off in an Ottawa NHL coaching
yeah,
career. What's it like getting coached by him? That must have been really cool, seeing where he is now.
yeah. That was I look back and I almost don't want to say I took that experience for granted, but I didn't realize the significance that could impact me and being able to absorb some of the things he said. And yeah, I remember the story. Like we were at a hotel room. Well, first of all, I get there, right, Michigan kid, and they took a bus. They took the Oshawa Generals bus, and this thing was thick. And I mean, they had like card tables in the back, a microwave. Like this thing was unbelievable. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen something like this before in my life. And we get there, and the first day, I'm a huge film junkie kid. Like I will clip shifts myself of random teams and just study tendencies. And I have like shift files put together of like random D man. So I'm a huge film junkie guy, and I've always have been. And he pulled up this website or this app that had so much information on it. I almost threw up. Like it clipped all the shifts for you, and I was like, oh my god, this is pro. And the way he executed a film meeting was like our coach on Honey Baked was unbelievable at film meetings, but this was like it was like a PowerPoint put together. Like he would hit the arrow, he would have like videos and circles. Like this was pro shit. Like he had like a laser pointer and everything. Like back on Honey Baked, like our coach would have would just point to the screen and like
Yeah.
tell us what we sucked at and what we need to do better. No, he broke it down like forecheck, certain forechecks when you see numbers, types of retrievals on defense. And this was for like a weekend tournament. In
Dude, but he's just dialed in.
I know he was
What
like I was blown away, and I remember I just I think the only reason why he might have remembered me is because I probably asked him a question every 10 minutes. He was probably so sick of me
Yeah.
asking him random shit just about people. I was same thing with Luca. Like he was coaching the OHL at Guelph, and I was just peppering him with Guelph questions, and then I was peppering DJ with um just questions about pro people, like their tendencies, how they played, how they treat their bodies and whatever. And then we had a scout, and I was just peppering him like what he
Oh
looks
my
for.
god.
And I was just trying to soak it all up. And I think that's the reason why some of those people remembered me is because I asked so many questions if they had almost hated me by the end of the weekend.
Well, I
But
mean, like it's awesome that you're asking all these questions because it's like you
yeah,
need to soak in all the information you can, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Exactly. My next question would be like, how were you able? Because the pandemic came
yeah,
shortly after your honey baked season, or
yeah,
a few years later. How were you able to adapt to the COVID pandemic, whether it was your off ice or on ice training?
yeah. So COVID hit when I was 16, and we were about to win a state championship
Oh,
in
just perfect
Michigan.
timing, then, right?
Yeah, it hit, and then we were gonna go win a national championship. I'm sure of it. And it hit, and we were devastated as a group because playing USA hockey, like the national championship is what you look forward to. Like winning
Oh
that would
yeah,
be like for Canada would be like the OHL Cup in minor hockey, I think it is.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah, we were devastated, but COVID hit. In the first 2 weeks, I thought like we all thought it was gonna be like something minor or whatever, but like it goes around, and so Sergei Fedorov's brother, Fedorov, has a relationship to the rink and whatever. So I ended up getting in contact with him and training with him, and I put my butt right in that gym, and I just started lifting a lot of weight and eating a lot of food because I knew I wasn't going to play my rookie year. And I said when I come in my second year, I just want to try to bury people.
Oh yeah.
And I put on a lot of weight and muscle, and I come in, and then but also during COVID, our coach Paul McFarland had us doing like Zoom meetings every week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like he made us log in and do workouts, and my summer days were ridiculous. I remember I'd wake up, do school, go hit the gym, skate because I was in the States and all these like the Canadians didn't have any of this.
Yeah.
So I was the only one working out and skating.
Yep.
So I would hit the gym. Yeah. So I would hit the gym, and I mean like hit it. Like I would be pumping a lot of weight up, and I look back and it was pretty stupid because I don't know why I was powerlifting for hockey. Like I think that ended up making me slow. But fast forward, I came into camp and I hit the bench press and I won the bench press competition. So I was like, let's
So it
go.
worked out anyway. You you
But
gave
my
yourself
coach,
that advantage.
I know, but my coach looked at me and he was like, Budsy, like you were built like a barrel right now. Like you got to cut down on some weight. I'm like, all right. But so, anyways, we do these like France Olympics with the team, and we go over all our system, and he has like us doing these cahoots,
Yeah.
and he's doing film, and it's pro. Like he's pushing us off the ice, and because again, like no one had gym or ice access, and I was the only one with
we were
gym and
stuck
ice
literally
access.
inside. Oh,
Yeah,
no gyms, no
yeah, I
ice
remember.
access. You're so lucky that you got
I
that
know,
opportunity.
I know, and it was good. And then I practiced with the I only did that once. I don't even. I practiced with, like the NTDP one time. Had a rep against them, and they all laughed at me because I came in because I didn't have any equipment.
Yeah.
So I came in with my dad's beer league bag, and I mean broken. I had like one stick. I was the trenches. Like I had no equipment. My
Oh my
teeth. Like
god.
Kingston wouldn't send me anything because it took like $600 to send me something across because our nearest airport is in Pelston, which is like 45 minutes. I don't even think they ship there. It's like getting sticks and equipment for me was a battle. So I came into this like NTP thing with like a size extra large pants down to below my knees.
You're the
Skates.
typical EASHL player.
Yeah, I was. It was
Yeah.
bad. I had like rebuild skates. Like
Oh my god.
I had to tape my Achilles protector back on my skates, and I had one good stick left going into that practice. First shot, rip, breaks it, sends it right into the netting. I'm like, oh my god, I got to use this Bauer Nexus from like 2018. That used to be my road hockey stick because my dad was like, "Oh, just tell Kingston to send me stuff." They wouldn't send me anything. And my dad was like, "I'm not buying you anything for hockey because it's free now." So I'm using the Bauer Nexus road hockey stick, and I think I had the greatest practice of my entire life with stitched up skates and baggy pants and a bucket with like a CCM bucket with a visor put on it myself because I thought I was hot shit going to the OHL. I look back, I just looked like a complete
Oh my
idiot.
god.
Signed, they didn't even send me the visor. I put that thing on myself. I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. And yeah, I had best practice of my life, and they never invited me back. But I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
know.
just
It's
because
just
I
like your
played.
whole
I think,
style ruined them. They're like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah. I think they were like,
You can have the
well,
greatest
the
goal
way I
ever. We're
play,
never inviting you back.
and to relate back to your question before, like a lot of people told me I played an OHL game, and I never knew what that meant until I got to the OHL, and my coach was like, "You play an OHL game," but they're more skilled, and I'm not saying I don't have the skill, but they're like USA Hockey is weird, and I got nothing against USA Hockey, but I also think they don't like the fact that I went the OHL route either. So,
Yeah,
but
it is what it is.
exactly.
Speaking of the OHO draft, getting drafted in the third round, probably the brightest spot of that pandemic for you. What do
Yeah.
you remember from that day?
Yeah, so like every questionnaire I got and every team I got, they're like, "Oh, are you going to the OHL?" I'm like, I was like, honestly, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I'll show up to camp. I'll compete in the camp, but I don't got no plans. And like I said, I was talking to schools out east, and I was on the phone with my agent, and then I was on the school at the prep school, Avon Old Farms. So I called Avon Old Farms that day. They're telling me like, we love you, we love you, love you. And then Harvard calls me, and like I was talking to Harvard for a little bit, and they call me and they just wanted to know where my head was at. And I was like, guys, I need time. And like I said, I was on the phone with Windsor to pick 57, 56, 58 rolls around. I'm still on the phone. They call me, hey, Tommy, we're going to take you with our next pick in the fourth round. I think their fourth round pick was like pick number 5. And I look at the screen, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting I'm getting drafted to the OHL in the third round. And before, I didn't know what that meant. And I guess like if you get drafted in the first, second, third round, like I guess that means you're going to the OHL. But
Yeah, typically.
I had no intention of going to the OHL.
That's
And this team
hilarious.
in Kingston picks me, and I'm like, all right. And my buddy calls me, like they're like, you're, and my friend Max calls me, who was their third overall pick to Sarnia. He's like my best friend. And he calls me and goes, Tom, you're going to the OHL? Like, I thought you liked school. I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I check my phone, and then Hash texts me. He's like, hey, man, congrats. Like, I can't wait to play with you. And then Shane reached out to me too, right? Or goes, welcome to the team. I can't wait to play with you. And I'm like, and then I was about to be like, boys, thank you for the text. But I don't even know if I'm
I
coming
don't
out
know
to
what the fuck I'm
Kingston. Like,
doing.
I got no idea what I'm doing here. Like,
That's hilarious.
give me a couple days to process this. And they offered me a good deal with my school package, and kind of just the decision of what goes into hockey and being a pro. And it kind of came down to just if I want to play pro, I think everyone says OHL is the best route. So it was a crazy day. I was blown away. It was fun though. My
So let's
mom and
talk.
dad were stoked.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first OHL season. You scored 20 points in 68 games. Coming
Yeah.
off that pandemic year, how long did it take for you to get in that rhythm?
Oh, I didn't get in that rhythm to February after my birthday. I scored my first goal on my mom's birthday in January. And that game is a hilarious game too, but that game we had like 12 guys out with COVID, and it was like I think it might have been like 15 of us. We had like 10 forwards. We had 10 forwards and 4D, and then a goalie. We had one goalie. We had 10 forwards, 4D, and a goalie. We played Peterborough, and I scored, and it was on my mom's birthday. I was so hyped up, but I didn't get into that rhythm of putting up points till January. Like my last 15 games, I was over a point per game. My last 15 games, and I think going into Christmas break, I might have like 4 points, 5 points, but last 15 games, I really stepped it up, and they just started going in, I guess.
So what do you remember from that first OHL goal? Because I must like scoring on your mom's birthday
Oh
is so
yeah,
important.
yeah. All I remember is how bad my celebration was. I think Ludsey buzzed around the net, hit me out front, and I closed my eyes and I one touched the puck, and I heard the horn go off, and I look to my left and I see Callie, and I just jump as high as I can, and he catches me. And I remember looking at him, I'm like, dude, what do I do next? Like what do I do? He's like, well, you go through the line, you dummy. So I just got through the line, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've never scored a goal before. Come on, now.
You're a defenseman. You're not supposed to
Yeah,
score.
I was like, what? And but no, it was a great game. That's a game I'll remember forever.
You guys were fortunate enough to make the playoffs. What was that
Yeah.
experience like?
It was good. We had a tough battle against Oshawa, and we went into North Bay, and we were a real good team. We had Wiz, Shane, Frasca, Eddie, who had 113 points, Cromer, Callie, Frenchie. Like I look back, Raj, Hash, Mur, Pears, and I look back, and like we had like 540 goal scorers in I don't know, like I don't know what it came down to. Like I look back and we totally could have I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Not going all the way, because I think if we actually played hard, we could have. I think if you look at Hamilton's roster they had with McTavish and Winterton, I think if we look at paper, I would take our paper roster over theirs any day of the week.
I was really hoping you guys would face off against them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because I went to every, like, at least one game in that Hamilton playoff run. I was at game, like, round 1, I was at round 2, 3, 4. I was at all the rounds. I was really hoping you guys would get past North Bay, but obviously
I know. And like, it was crazy. Like, that Hamilton team was thick. And I remember we beat them. We beat them like 3 times, and they beat us 3 times. And I don't know what happened to us, and it's just I don't know. It was crazy because we were good, but something just didn't click that playoff run, and I don't know.
I want to ask you on a specific game. I guess it would have been in that first season with Chromiak pulling off the Michigan for his hat trick.
Oh,
I was
disgusting.
at that game in Ottawa. That
It
was
was in
sick.
Ottawa. Yeah, it was
That
in
was
Ottawa.
gross.
It was in Ottawa, and we're going into Halloween weekend, and it's in Ottawa. In his first two game, that kid, I've never seen anybody shoot a puck better in my entire life.
It was fucking
And
unreal.
oh my god! And this kid comes down the PP. He would set up on the PP, just wire him to the back of the net, and
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit! Oh my god! I'm glad I'm on his team. Damn it! Because I'm a PK guy, so I got to try to block shots, and this kid
Yeah.
would rip them. And I remember he sent one off my ankle in practice, and I was broken. But this kid rips one top left from like outside the circle against Ottawa. Second goal, power play from the right side, rips.
Mm-hmm.
Third goal comes down. Like he was moving full speed. Third goal
He did it
comes down.
so smooth. It was so
coming
smooth.
down. I remember it so vividly. He's coming down the left side.
Yeah.
Mohawks, fakes back left, looks over his left shoulder. The defenseman bites on him. He goes around the net. Mohawks picks it up, throws it in the back of the net, and does one of those sellies. And I remember I fell over the bench. I looked back at my coach. And I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Me and my buddy were hyped.
Oh my god! Oh my! And then I hear, and then we traded for a kid, Belanger, and he told us the opposite side of that story. I guess their coach was pissed.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because he just like the guy
Cameron,
literally embarrassed you in front of your home crowd.
I heard Dave Cameron's a nail gun of a coach too. And
honestly, he comes off as that. I won't even
lie.
lie.
He seems like a real tough dude, and I guess he was livid. Belly was saying, and I think. And I was like, if anyone's doing it, it's Cromer. Like that kid is.
That was such unfair. A sick goal. I guess my question, in that first round against Oshawa, you guys did have a good season series against them. How confident were you heading into that first round?
Well, personally, I was not confident at all. It's my first playoff run in the OHL. I don't know what to expect. Like I'm gonna do what they say on TV. Hit guys, block shots, and move the puck quick. I was like, I'm playing such a stereotypical defenseman game right now. But I guess like the older group, I guess they were all because I don't know because they were all telling me like that team hasn't seen playoffs in a while. So
that's true.
But we were pretty confident going in. We were a real confident group of guys, type A males, and we were I think we were pretty confident. So I think we were real confident going in. Personally, after my first game, I settled in. I'm like, oh, it's just like a normal season game, but you just get hit a lot more. So you might be hurting, but hey.
So just speaking more about that playoff run, you guys clinched the series in Game 6 overtime up against the Generals. What were your emotions like heading into the locker room for that overtime?
Well, I just got in a fight. So the last. I only played the last 6 because I think I got in a fight in the end of the second. I remember Shaner got hit in the corner, and my gloves were up in the air. I thought I lost him in the bench. To be honest, my teammate caught. I was sitting on the blue line, and you watched the videos, and I whipped those things back. I remember when my teammate said he caught one of them changing on the bench, and I just grabbed this kid and I start letting him. I start pumping him.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize the significance because it's captain. You just got buried, and Game 6 of playoffs. Like that's
that's not cool. You gotta stay up.
We need the juice.
Yeah.
This is Game 6. Come on now. So I remember I feed this kid, and probably one of the only fights I've ever won in my career, just due to tendency of me fight some of the biggest bastards on the ice. And so I remember I got this guy. I hit him good right in the nose, and he cut his lip real good. And I skate to the bench, and I think the second period rolls around, and my coach is livid because we were short on D.
Oh, of course he's gonna blame you.
Yeah, he was pissed, and we were short.
You're just a scapegoat at this point.
I know. And I was like, and my coach comes in and he rips me in. And he looked back and he said, He's like, I love that. I loved it. I love that shit. But he's like, I guess kind of just losing you was painful. Just because we needed a shutdown guy to close it out, and not having you, and hurt because I guess they scored a couple. I don't know, maybe a power play goal. So he was pissed. I was a PK guy, he was pissed. But anyways, we rolled in the locker room, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna say anything, like I wasn't much of it. Like I would talk, but like I would kind of let the old guys kind of guide
Oh
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and I look over and I know Wiz pretty well. Like Wiz is like my brother, and his little brother is like my best friend, and like one of them. And I remember I look over at Wiz, and Wiz is like shaking, and I'm like, all right, if he's nervous, I'm nervous because like that guy plays show games. Like he's played show games. He had like 19 points in like 12 games as an 18-year-old in the AHL, which is like the jungle. And
Yeah.
he's shaking, and he's shaking, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm shaking too. And I look over at Roger, same thing, second round pick show, shaking, Cromer shaking.
You're shitting
I'm
your
like, all
pants at
right.
this
I'm like,
point.
all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna say something. I'm like, yo, honestly, boys, like if I'm gonna be real right now, this is just another period. I'm not too nervous at all. Sweating, bucket, and I was like, you know what, just try to lighten the mood a little bit. Like guys were like, I was about to throw up, and I go, guys, like this is just another period. I'm not too nervous at all. End of the game, we win. I come to the locker room, guys. I almost threw up, and they're like, all right, I wasn't nervous. I'm like, yeah, I was trying to like calm it down a little bit because it was scary. You know, games like they say that, and you remember I'm out there the shift before, and I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as all hell on the bench.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my
Because it's
god,
like
and
you don't want you
yeah,
don't want the mistake to fall
no,
on you. Is what I'm trying to get at.
no, yeah, you really don't. Like you look at it and you try to tell yourself like, oh, you're not that important in life. Like if you make a mistake, so what? Like you're not that important. People won't remember it, but fact of the matter, like I would remember that the whole rest of my life. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just not gonna be nervous. You know, I put in so many hours of hockey, like I'm just gonna go out and play. And I played, and I remember shift before, I think I stopped at 2-on-1. I was like, oh my god, I'm getting off
That
the
adds to your
ice.
confidence.
I know. I was like, all right, and broke the puck out, get off the ice. I watched the puck transition, be like, hold on to it for a minute, stop at 2-on-1. Roger sends a pass up to Shane. Shane goes down, buries, and I've never like I think I scream like I would say I'm a pretty masculine dude. I scream like a little girl. Like I was so excited. Remember I looked to my left and it was Burner, and me and him just like grab each other by the shoulders and just scream, and then we all just dogpiled Shane, and it was unreal.
Leave it up to the captain. He comes in the clutch.
Exactly. I was like, and after the game, I'm like, hey, I'll go the biggest guy in this league, and I do not care. I will go
Yeah.
whoever. I will go whoever it takes. If you score a goal like that, I will go anybody in the world right now.
Well, let's talk
And
about that second round against North Bay. A lot of the talk was
yeah,
surrounding Ty Nelson, how, he's so offensively gifted. He really is a complete player at
yeah.
both ends of the ice. Did you feel as though that you guys limited his game at all?
Well, I remember one game. I'm not gonna lie. I was out there for like 4 goals. I just had the worst luck. Like the
Just a
Leon
quick dash
Center.
4 in the playoffs.
Yeah, one game -4. I was like, fuck, this is a different style of hockey, bro. Fuck. Puck comes out to me at the point, bounces over my stick, sends down on Petrov on a breakaway. Same spot, same exact spot. 3 shifts later, Buddy sends out a muffin, like a muffin chip off the wall. I go to whack it in. I whiff the first time,
Of
bouncing.
course.
Whiff the second time, put it right up in the air like a 60-degree wedge shot in golf. Comes back down. I hit it, goes to my teammate. He does a give and go play. Puck bounces over my stick. Breakaway. I'm like,
It
oh
just
my
wasn't your
god.
night. It just wasn't
No,
your
I was
night.
like, oh my god. And I remember their power play was, and then also like I was supposed to be PK, but their power play was disgusting.
It was. Yeah, they have a
And
really nice power play.
oh my god, it was unbelievable. And I remember that Petrov kid can shoot the pill. And then Ko too. I've never seen someone make. Never seen. I think that kid put a pass through a guy's puck on his skates, and I was like, I just tipped my cap to him in that game. I think it was my skate. He put it through my skate. He put it through the hole in my skate. I honestly tipped my cap. I'm like, dude, that's fucking nice. But no, I don't know. We had some dogs on that team. I think Wiz was playing with like a dislocated shoulder. Ludzi can hound a puck, and I think basically we just got put pressure on. I don't even think their D. I don't want to sound like a dick or anything, but I don't think their D did that much that playoff series, like 5-on-5. Like we just our Cromer, we had some dogs on the forecheck that just hounded the puck. And I think we made a lot of our goals came from turnovers from the D out in the middle, throwing pucks through the middle. And yeah, I think we just hounded the puck on their D end. But once they got on their power play, it was a good night. And with Petchov and Co, like that was disgusting.
Well, let's talk about this season. Right now, you guys sit sixth in the Eastern Conference. What's the
Yeah.
potential of this team?
I think the potential of this team is I think we can shoot past them. I think we could go for the stars with this group. Like I said, we're real young. We got a lot of young guys coming to the league. Hell, I'm young. I'm in my second year. I think our oldest, we have like three OAs. And I think our other oldest kid is an and we got like two 03s. I think like 75% of our team are like 05s and 06s. So once when they figure out the league and they figure out their way a little bit more as young men, I think we could be dangerous with the group we have. So I think we have a lot of potential. I think we just got to keep our heads right and keep our course and believe in what we're doing and trust what we're doing and just put our belief in ourselves and our team. And I think we'll be good.
Matt Soto leads the team in goals. What's it like to have him as a threat on the ice?
Yeah, so Soats, I don't even know he led the team in goals. He's sneaky with them too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he does because I guess we had Frenchie, but we traded Frenchie. Soats is sneaky. Like he's so underrated. I think he's so underrated in his draft class. And I think the reason he scores so many goals is well, one, he can shoot the puck. He came back this summer, and the first thing I noticed is how hard he was shooting the puck in their first game. I'm like, oh my god, like he's got a bomb now. And he just does it right. Like, man, he'll stop in front of the net. He'll take a couple cross checks to the ribs, and he'll sit there for that extra second when guys will like bail and leave. He'll sit there and you'll get fed like two or three, and he'll put one in, and it's like they're not fancy goals. He just scores. Like they're not, like he's had a couple highlight ones too, but he's not like dancing guys pulling off, between the legs, bar downs. He's like stopping in front. He's doing his habits right. He's stopping in front. You want to go to the grocery, you want to get groceries, you go to the grocery store, and I guess he wants a goal, so he goes to the
Yeah.
net, but he's good at it. He can hang in there. He's a tough kid.
This season and even in past seasons, you've had Jake Murray on, your defensive
Yeah.
core. How big of
Yeah.
a veteran presence and even a leadership aspect did he have on the
Um,
team?
yeah, coming in, young me, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little asshole. Yeah, I was a little maniac. I wouldn't say I was a savage, but I was ruthless. Like I couldn't control my emotions. I was real angry and whatever. And I just loved the game. Like I was so eager coming in. I was passionate. Like I said, I was willing to fight anybody, and I was ready to get in her. And I got in her, and and I think one game, I don't know. I think one game, I don't know. I like to push buttons. I love
Yeah.
pushing buttons, and I would always get real passionate and real heated up. Like if things aren't perfect, it pisses me off regardless if it's in my game. I'll scream at myself in the room and stuff. And he told me in his veteranship, I couldn't ask for a better vet my first year with him because the way he guided me and the way he helped me control and internalize my emotion has really helped me play and take strides in the past couple, months as a person even. So having him was awesome. And same with all our other vets. They were great.
How big of an addition is Ian Lemieux to the team?
Well, of course, sad story. I've seen him in practice and, he's a great room guy. One of the best room guys I've seen.
That's what I've
Nicest
heard.
though. Yeah, nicest away I've ever met in my life. He's just unbelievable. But first game, he popped his shoulder out, so he's been out battling
Oh,
that. But
what?
coming in, like still coming into the room, the guy smiles and the guy makes it a welcoming place to be there. And first week he was a little nervous, whatever, but I got nothing but positive things to say about Lemmer. He's awesome.
It must have been kind of like a leadership change when now Murray's gone, Shane Wright's gone,
Yeah,
Hash is gone. That must have
yeah,
been some sort of like leadership change there in the locker room.
yeah. It was. You know, yeah, it was a big change, I guess, because I guess we got young guys coming in leadership roles for next year in our bid for the Memorial Cup. But we still have Raj up. We still have Raj with an A, Belly
Yep.
with an A, Callie's got an A. So I think um, it's something I'm very grateful for. It didn't change anything within myself.
Mhm.
It's something I really want to step into, and I don't even know if I know how to lead a team properly yet. But it's something I want to learn and figure out the bumps with because it's a great honor, and it's not really going to change anything, and I'm going to make mistakes as an assistant captain and whatever. But as long as I learn from them and know, and I think that's what I can ask for myself as far as leadership goes.
Shane Wright obviously is the talk of the OHL. He's like
Yeah,
over a point per game with the Spits.
yeah,
Wins a world, a World J with
oh
the
yeah,
gold medal there. Does any of that surprise you?
no, no, um, no, not at all. Shane, regardless of I don't want to say like I don't want to shoot the guy down, but we're human, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on in someone's head. You don't know how they're feeling, and it could be having a slump. Whether like I don't want to like his slump is a lot better than my slump because he still ends up with 2 points. But I end
Somehow,
up,
he's always
yeah,
producing positively. There's almost
yeah,
like no
he's in a slump.
negatives.
He's in a slump putting up 2 assists, and I'm in a slump putting up 3 dashes. Yeah, I don't know, but when he's in a slump, no. On all real note, though, when he's in a slump, he shows up and he still puts in the effort, regardless of, how's his plays going, regardless of what's going on. And seeing that, it's whether you believe in whatever you do, seeing that it comes time where sooner or later he had to be rewarded, and you know, um, he was, and he's done it right for a long time. So, they say if you do it right and if you do it right every day and you do it consistently, good things will come. And that's just a testimony to him. So
The one player acquired in the Shane Wright trade, Ethan Medema, obviously, he stepped into the
yeah,
locker room. Seems like he's got good chem going with the team, eh?
yeah, he's. I didn't even know like he was that big. Like they said he was
Oh,
six
he's
four, and I'm like,
freaking massive.
I was like 6'4", my ass, like
Yeah,
no
same
way.
here. I was like, no chance.
And
I meet this guy after like the Spitfires and Bulldogs game this season, 6'4", like 6'6". I'm like,
yeah, I
what
was
the
like,
hell?
holy, this
Yeah.
is a big boy. And he hits too. He hits like a bus.
Oh yeah.
And oh yeah, he hits like a bus. But no, he's great. He's an awesome kid. I feel for him a little bit. I know getting traded is nerve wracking, so we didn't say too much going in. But I was able to spend some time with him on the road and talk to him on the bus and get to know him. And his work ethic is unbelievable. I remember he stayed out on the ice for like an extra 45 minutes, dialing in his shot because he said he was in a slump, and he's like, you know what, we have ice, and remember I got off. I think I like gonna take an ice bath because we're short on D again. So like, I'm not staying on. No way. I'm about to play an hour of hockey in like 2 games. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
It's ridiculous. So I got off, and this kid stayed on and ripped like 200 pills, and sure as shit comes back the next game as a 2 point game.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it works.
There's a reason he got drafted where he did, right?
Yeah, oh
Windsor
yeah.
saw the potential and Kingston got a great player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are. I think he fits the personality of the team well. He just loves to work hard, and he doesn't complain. He doesn't say anything, and all around great kid.
I just got some quick fire questions. So my first one would be favorite OHL arena to travel to.
So far, my favorite has either been Sioux or Flint.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because of family and home games. So Sioux and
Yeah.
Flint.
How about the worst arena?
I hate going to North Bay to play. Something about that place just brings me a bad game. Get off the bus 5 hours. You gotta go play in this. You gotta go play in this place. The bikes. I don't want to diss them, but those bikes need a bike upgrade. You're dragging ass off that bus ride, and you got to wake up and play them the next
Yeah.
day. And it's just like shit, and then their fans are loud and they're good as it is, and you're like, oh my god. So
You just
I
know
hate
it's gonna be one of those games.
I hate playing in North Bay. I always have, and I think I always will. I haven't had one. I've had good games, but I haven't had one game where I was like, you know what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
My next one would be the teddy bear toss. It was against North Bay, funny enough.
yeah.
Was there any money in the locker room, any
Oh
betting
yeah.
that was going on? Who
Oh
was
yeah.
gonna
That board
score?
was that board was. Oh, on who was gonna score? No.
Really? Because that's
No.
usually how. Oh, okay, that's
I was
interesting.
gonna bet. I was gonna bet myself, but I was
Michael
gonna put
Jordan
like
style.
I was gonna put like $500 on myself to win this, but those odds, I was like, you know what? If I get $500, I'm just gonna pay myself. It's pointless. But no, I think anyone put up money. Oh, I think it was we put up a lot of money to win that game though.
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a teddy bear toss. You kind of
Oh
you
yeah. We
should
put.
win.
I think there was like. I think there was like a grand. I think there was like $1,500 on the board for
Oh
the
my
boys to
god.
go into the jar. I know it was ridiculous. It was awesome.
Yeah. How
They
was that
good
teddy bear toss game?
fun. It was good. I wanted to be the one to score because I wanted to get like a cool picture with me and my hands in the air,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
teddy bears raining down on me. I think that would have been an unbelievable photo. But no, it was awesome. Took us a little bit to get the goal, but once we did, it was good. I like the teddy bear toss game a lot.
Have you been on the road for any teddy bear toss?
Yeah, we went to Mississauga's teddy bear toss, but they like we were yeah we didn't give them much that game, and I don't think they got their teddy bear toss goal until like the first 10 of the third.
Really?
Yeah, we were that was like we played a real good game that game.
Well, the final question here is any advice for younger hockey players?
Um, to a younger hockey player, I would have to say dream big. Um, do it right every day. You go to the rink, love it, enjoy it. You don't have to go; you get to go. It's a privilege. It's an honor, and it's a blessing to play this game. And you're gonna get out what you get into it. I don't want to say don't have fun, but there's a difference between having fun and destroying your future. So, you know, the best piece of advice I got is dream big. And if anyone ever tells you to settle, don't listen. Times are gonna be tough. They're gonna suck. You're gonna want to quit. You're gonna be dash 10. You're gonna it's gonna be awful. Keep your head high. Love the game. Enjoy the game. Respect the game. And give it your all until there's 4 zeros on the clock.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank again Tommy Budnick for joining me on today's podcast. Thank you again.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was great.